Hi everyone, welcome back another video of electronic device. In this session, we are going to discuss about optoelectronic devices such as LED, a photodiode, lasers, solar cell, etc. Basically, this device is being used in uh, optical technology, where a light will be the carrier, and there should be one device which convert electrical energy into light energy at the source end, and there should be some other device which convert the light energy into electrical energy back at the receiver end. Okay, and there should be some device which amplify the light. So many things is required for optical technology, but basically our LED will be the device which is being used to transmit. In the transmission, the LED is used as a source basically. Okay, and photodiode or a photodetector being used as a detector side. So we're gonna learn these type of devices in this session. Yeah, in this chapter we will discuss devices that detect the photons and those that emit photons. Simply says the device which detect the light and the device which emit the light. That is what we are going to learn in this session, and some other device which convert optical energy into electrical energy, like a photodiode and a solar cell, and the small amount of very small amount of light convert into a small electrical energy in photodiode, but in solar cell its mass conversion is very mass. The sunlight converted into a power source, basically solar cells. Emitters of photon includes LED and lasers are the example for the emitters of light. Basically, these lasers are monochrome and unidirectional, so we call it as a coherent source. And LED is not a coherent because the light include a lot of frequencies, so it's not a coherent, so incoherent source. So three things basically going to discuss. One is a device which convert from light to electrical, light energy to electrical energy, and electrical energy back to light energy, and some other device which emit light, some other device which detect light. These are the things, small things we are going to discuss here. Okay, so first one is photodiode. Photodiode is nothing but a p-n junction, two terminal p-n junction, but it responds based on the response is based on the photon absorption. That is why it's called as a photodiode. So photon is nothing but light particle. The p-n junction will be more sensible to the light, actually says. The photodiode is extremely high sensitivity and a high response speed. So because of these two special characteristics, too sensitive, very small amount of light itself it will detect, and the response time is very less, so it is speed response. So because of these two important characteristics of photodiode makes it a key role player in photoelectronics basically. So as we said earlier, here also this p-n junction working based on the electron hole pair generation. Okay, and the very important use of junction as solar cell, which convert optical energy into electrical power, basically not a small amount of light converting into very small signal. It's a large amount of light converting to it's electrical power, which may use to power entire firm or entire home, whatever it is, we can use it in large scale. Okay, so what is the working technology of photodiode? It's simply a p-n junction. Okay, wherever we have a p-n junction, we can have a three types of configuration. We know that one is a forward biasing of p-n junction. Another is reverse biasing of p-n junction. Okay, and third one is without any source. equilibrium condition. Okay, equilibrium condition. So these three things we need to explain for this photodiode. Let's see. First, we start with the reverse biasing condition. So look at this diagram. This diagram is very familiar to you. This is energy band diagram of reverse bias PN junction. First we take a normal PN junction, and you can see two diagram. One is a energy band diagram of PN. This is P material. This is N material, and you can see the Fermi level is splitted up, and the conduction band, the valence band of N-type material, the energy level of valence band of N-type material is more than the conduction band of P-type material. What exactly I mean? The valence band of P-type material, the energy level of valence band of P-type material is more than that of conduction band of N-type material. So is energy band is crossed because of the applied reverse bias. So that energy barrier is actually Q into V plus VR. Okay, so VR is the applied reverse voltage across the PN junction. So the more electric field is acting on this transition region, the slope is high. Okay, so this type of diagram you may be familiar with when in my previous classes when I explain avalanche breakdown, when I explain reverse biasing of PN junction, I have taken this diagram. So here this electric field is experiencing in this area. The direction of electric field is this direction, epsilon x. It's a minus x because the direction of electric field is n to p. Okay, n to p. So the junction is reverse biased. It's something like this. You can have a PN junction here. Okay, we have a depletion region, and this is P-type semiconductor, N-type PN junction. So I have applied reverse bias. Yes. So initially this is not a normal PN junction, and light is falling on this device. Initially assume light is falling on transition region only. Photon is falling on transition region only, but the energy of the photon, we usually write energy of the photon is h nu. H nu should be greater than the energy band gap of the semiconductor in order to get the overcome the barrier. Okay, so the photon with the energy greater than energy band gap falling on the PN junction, I'll just mention here. Photon is falling on this with energy h nu. Okay, and here an electron hole pair may create because of the photon. A hole is created, an electron is created. So we learned that the hole will be the top of the valence band and electron should be the bottom of the conduction band. So electron hole pair will create over here, and what will happen to this electron and holes? Because of the strong electric field in the transition region, the electron will move with the opposite direction of electric field, and the hole move in the direction of electric field. Electron will move opposite the direction of electric field. Hole will move the same direction of electric field. Okay, so look at these characteristics. Okay, so assuming that this is a normal diode characteristic in reverse biasing condition, and here you can see here reverse saturation current. A constant current is flowing through the junction, assuming that there is no light falling on the PN junction. Okay, if there is no light falling on the PN junction, but the junction is already reverse biased, so small current will flow through the PN junction. That is a constant current. We can call it as I saturation, but in photodiode we call this as a dark current. Why? Because there is no light falling on the PN junction. There is no light, as the name suggests, it's a dark. If there is no light, definitely that is equivalent to the dark. So dark current. But if I look into this characteristic as a normal diode, this is reverse saturation current. I can call it as I saturation. I saturation. Okay. So this current is already there, no doubt. But apart from this current, there will be a current because of the light also. So when light is falling on this transition region, electron hole pair may create. So assume another electron hole pair is created here. Okay, that electron also move opposite direction of electric field, and this hole will move the same direction of electric field, no doubt. So this movement of charge carriers will develop a additional current. That additional current is which direction? The additional current is in the direction of reverse current itself. Additional current is in the direction of this direction. This current is because of the light falling on that, so that I can call it as IL, light falling on that. So the total current fall across the junction, I can say that total current I is equal to, because there is a minus I saturation. It's flowing opposite, right? It's flowing opposite the normal diode current, and minus IL. So total current is actually large. So we will be getting another characteristic because of the additional flow of current. We will be getting another characteristic, because current is more. Already reverse saturation current plus the current due to photon fall is there. So total current for one intensity of the light. So now assume we increase the intensity, more number of photons are falling on the PN junction. So the current light IL will be more because of more intensity. You will be getting a large current than the previous one, and still if you increase the intensity, the current will more and more. Okay, this all current will flow from N to P. N to P reverse, actually it is N to P, normal diode current always P to N, but it is opposite to the normal diode current. When you forward bias the PN junction, the current flow from P to N, that we know. Okay, but here the current flow from N to P, because electron is flowing from P to N. So that is why the minus sign. So that more current will flow through the junction because of the more number of photon falling on the PN junction. Okay. Now you think, okay, photon is falling throughout the PN junction. So we have this is a transition. We have a transition region here. Okay, and we have a neutral region also there. Neutral region, this is a neutral region, P side, neutral region. And here also we have a neutral region because there is no electric field. Photon, if falling on this area, also created an electron hole pair, maybe. Electron hole pair it will create here. What will happen to this electron hole pair? And there may be here also, there may be electron and hole pair. Okay. But this electron hole pair never experienced by any electrical field. So this will automatically diffused, or this electron hole pair will recombine and settle down very easily. Okay, in both region. But assuming that electron hole pair happening very near to the transition region, not inside the transition region, but it is outside it's outside, but it is very near to transition region. What will happen to this electron? Electron will remain here, but this hole will suddenly take into the other side of p-n junction. Similar way, because in this side, this is n-type semiconductor side, right? So electron is a majority charge carriers, hole will be the minority charge carrier. That hole will take into other side of the junction. Similar way, if there is an electron and hole pair created very near to the transition region in p side, okay, this electron will experiencing this electric field, immediately it is taken to this side. Okay, so there will be a current because of electron hole pair in the n region, also neutral region also, and there is a current because of electron hole pair created inside the transition region also. And one more thing I just want to mention you, there is a hole, electron hole pair is created and reverse bias is applied, definitely the n side connected to p. So this hole slightly feel the repulsion from the positive slightly feel the repulsion from the positive terminal of source, and it will move in this direction before recombine. It don't move a large distance, it will move a small distance before the recombination occurs. So that small the length which the whole move, small, I mean the path, the small length of the path is known as diffusion length of hole. What do you mean? What is that? Diffusion length. It is mentioned by LP. What is LP? It's nothing but diffusion length of hole. Before it recombines, this hole may travel a small distance before it recombine with the electron. Before electron hole recombination, that minority charge carriers in n side may travel a small distance. Okay, that length of the path is known as diffusion length. Okay, and there is another term called tau p. This is nothing but lifetime of hole. The hole is created, and after some time the hole is going to recombine with the electron and settle down. So the time between, the lifetime of the hole is represented by tau p. So definitely we have a tau n, we have a tau n in this side, and we have a ln in this side. What is ln? If electron hole pair is created in the p region, the electron is actually a minority charge carriers. This minority charge carrier definitely going to recombine with the hole. This electron is going to recombine with the hole. Since it is reverse biased, this electron may experience a small repulsion force from the external source, and it move in this direction before recombination. It won't take a long distance, it may travel very small path. Okay, and the length of the path is known as diffusion length of electron, represented by ln, and that lifetime of this electron is known as tau n. Tau is always in this topic, tau is for minority charge carriers. Okay, so that will happen in this p-n junction reverse bias. We learned about diffusion length LP, diffusion length of electron Ln, and tau, the time span of charge carriers before it recombines, holes in the n region and electrons in the p region, because those are the minority charge carriers in that area. Basically, how does it work? Any photon with the energy is more than Eg, energy gap, and a band gap, falling on the PN junction, electron hole pair created if the in the electron hole pair created anywhere in this semiconductor. But if it is happening in transition region, the strong electric field is experiencing on that area. The direction of the electric field is N to P. Okay, once electron hole pair created, the electron will move opposite the direction of electric field, that is towards N, and the hole move in the same direction of electric field, that is towards P. That creates some current. If more number of photon is falling on that, more number of electron hole pair created, which causes more current across the junction. That current is represented by the term IL. Okay, that is same as in the direction of the reverse saturation current. If there is no photon, there will be a normal reverse saturation current because of the reverse bias voltage VR. Okay, VR. So the applied voltage is V is equal to VR minus VR, reverse voltage, and total current is equal to minus I saturation minus IL. I saturation is the normal current, so I saturation in this one without photon, that I saturation is known as dark current. Okay, so when light is falling on that, additional electron hole pair creator, additional current will flow, that will increase the current flow in opposite direction of the normal diode current. That's why this is for one intensity of light, this is the higher intensity of the light, this is the more intensity of the light. This will happen when the junction is reverse bias. Okay, now next we have to see, I need to erase it all the thing, and the next we see the same thing at not equilibrium. Here I supposed to short circuit this. This is what I have explained, finished now. And let me change the color of pen. Okay, next at equilibrium. Not at equilibrium. Okay, when we don't have a voltage source externally, we have shorted these two N and B region. Okay, voltage here, voltage is actually minus VR. Here voltage is equal to 0, not applying any voltage. Okay, not open source, but it is short. Okay, so when it is short circuited, there is no external voltage applied. Because of no external voltage, it's not either forward biased or reverse biased. But we know when a PN junction is brought together to become a junction, there will be a depletion region, definitely going to create a depletion region, and there will be a small electric field. But here there will be a large electric field because of the extra reverse bias applied. Here there is a small electric field available. Okay, so because of the electric field, whatever I told in the reverse bias condition will happen, will repeat here also. But look at this, the Fermi level is the energy level of Fermi level of both p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductors are in same level, because it is there is no external source applied, so it's kind of equilibrium. It's equilibrium. Okay, so here also we can have a transition region. I can mark a transition region here. So when a photon is falling on the junction with the energy h nu is greater than the energy band, the energy of the photon should be greater than the energy gap. So hole will create here and electron will create here. Definitely because of the electric field, the electron will move towards n-type material and the hole will move towards p-type material, and this causes current. And here the interesting factor is the applied voltage V is equal to 0, and I am expecting that the current is actually 0. Okay, total current is actually 0, but total current is not 0. But the total current is not 0. Why? because the photon is falling on the junction or throughout the semiconductor, which create an electron hole pair here. The electron will move towards N material and hole will move towards the P material, which causes a current, that is IL, which causes a current IL, which is opposite direction of the normal diode current. So we mentioned minus IL. The I is not a zero value. The I is equal to minus IL. So in previous case, we have a reverse saturation current because we have applied a reverse biasing condition here. And previous diagram we have got this one, okay, because of the light intensity, we got this curve. And now at saturation, what is happening, at saturation, that means the input here, and in a previous case I can say somewhere here I have applied a minus VR, voltage is equal to minus VR. Now the voltage is equal to 0. In the normal diode, if the voltage is equal to 0, the current is also 0. But in photodiode, since there is a photon is falling on the junction, falling on the semiconductor, there will be a current because of the electron hole pair created because of the photon fall. There will be current, minus current. So that will be the point. At a voltage 0, at a voltage is equal to 0, here the voltage is equal to 0. Here the voltage is equal to minus VR. Okay, at 0, there will be a minus current at one intensity. And if you increase the intensity of the light, current will increase. That is what I mentioned using the dot. And again, if you increase the intensity, the current will increase. Remember, there is no external source applied. There is no external source applied. Even though there is no source externally connected, you could see a current flow through the junction because of the photon. Okay, so two cases are over. One is at reverse biasing condition, another is at equilibrium. And let's see the third one. The third one is at the forward bias. Okay, at forward bias, what will happen? At forward bias, we know that Fermi level is split up into two, and still there is a depletion region. That means there is an electric field. So here also I can mark a depletion region. I can mark my transition region here. Okay, already it is forward bias. Now the voltage is VF. Already it is a forward bias. Okay, and assume that current is flowing through that one. Okay, but what is total current now? Current is equal to normal diode current. Okay, normal diode current in this direction. ID is in this direction. ID in this direction. But if a photon is falling on this, photon with energy h nu greater than energy gap falling on this, definitely a electron hole pair create, and this electron will move towards N region and hole will move towards this region. Definitely there is a current, small current, which is opposite the direction of the normal diode current, IL. So total current is equal to ID minus IL. What is ID? The normal diode current. When we apply the reverse forward bias, there will be a normal diode current flow through the junction. Apart from that, because of the photon falling, there will be a current IL, which is opposite to the direction of ID. Okay, so we look into this diagram. This is what when at reverse bias. Okay, and this is at here V is equal to VR. This is V is equal to 0, and now V is equal to positive value. Okay, small positive value. If V is is equal to very small positive value, I assume that V is equal to 0.1 volt. If V is equal to 0.1 volt, diode will not conduct, no doubt. Diode will not conduct. A normal diode current will not be there, but light is falling on that. So current will not be zero. A negative current will be there, which is more than the forward biasing current now, because forward bias, no current is flowing through the junction. Why? A small forward bias is applied, but negative current will be there. Okay, negative current will be there. I increase this voltage to 0.5. Still there is no current flow. Somewhere somewhere here, okay. So still there is no current flow, but the negative current will be there. So eventually, if I increase this to 0.7, what will happen? This negative current slowly, gradually reduce, and at one particular point it reaches zero. That means the negative current will become zero even there is a photon fall, and the current flow is because of the forward biasing only. Okay, so this is for one intensity, this is for another intensity light, this is for third intensity of the light. So this will happen when we apply the forward bias. So here the voltage is positive, but the current is negative. Here the voltage is negative and current also negative. What about the power? Power is positive. Okay, power will be positive for all energy consuming device like a resistor, diode, capacitor. That is a power consuming device. Here the voltage is positive but current is negative. Okay, so power is negative. The power will be negative for a source. Okay, so if this PN junction operate in this region, this diode is act as a photodiode. That means it detect light. If the PN junction is working in this region, this PN junction will act as a power generation. That means photovoltaic effect. That is what happen in forward bias and reverse bias and the equilibrium conditions. So here you can see this is not I0, this is IL, this is IL, this is IL. So here there will be a reverse saturation current and a light current. Both are in same direction. The voltage is minus VR. And at equilibrium there will not be a saturation current because no current, no external source is applied. So the current is only because of the photon falling. The applied voltage is zero. But here the applied voltage is VF, forward bias. So because of the forward bias, there will be definitely a normal diode current from P to N, and because of the light fall, there will be a small current opposite that direction, that is IL. So this is how a photo diode work. Okay, thank you guys.